we have to do today. What is it that we're going to discuss? We'll be looking at the program number 8, right? So the program number 8 says you are, let's bring it there so that everybody can see. So you are supposed to create, oh yeah, that's something like this. So you are supposed to create an activity like a phone dialer, right? With call and save up buttons. So when I press, it says on pressing the call button, it must call the phone number of the person, and on pressing the save button, it must save the number to phone contact. All right. So it should look something like this. Beside it, you're going to have a delete button, and then you have an edit text. So this is an edit text, this is a text view. So one edit text, one text view. And how many buttons? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 buttons, right? Okay. Now let's just run the application and then we will see how the thing looks like. So if you watch, actually here I have started doing something using a constraint layout, all right? So using a constraint layout, and I actually wanted to show you like how to constrain this, fine? Like in between, just constrain it. So if I want it to be here only, I'll constrain it to what? Bottom of this thingy, okay? And then to this side. So something, once you constrain it, you see here, bottom of, something like that, constrain whatever, whatever. So just leave this for now, okay? We will focus on something which we can easily do and finish it in less time, right? So what was it? Okay, so first thing, let's just wipe the data. Now I wiped it and I'm getting 1 point something GB here. And this is what I have. Now if I run this app, okay, I'll wait for the emulator to fire up. And it should be done in no time. So this is what it's going to look like. And then we will just proceed and build the stuff together. Okay. So there you go. I think it's giving some updates. Fine. Just allow that to complete. Now, let's prototype this. So I'm going to enter some number. I'll just enter something like 814. And the number, the text is so small, okay? So in this class, we are going to work on the text. We increase it actually, the font. I'm talking about the font. Fine? So 81470 is actually my old number, 70833. Now, I have an option to call. So let me call that. So now, as I call this number, and now listen, guys, what I want us to do in the lab is the same thing. You are going to export it to your phone. And once you call, you'll be able to call this person in real time. It will ring, absolutely. It will dial, okay? Now, this is it. And once I click on call, okay, it's going to see something like this, calling, okay? So even if I increase the volume or something like that, nothing is going to happen. It's just a dummy example. Fine? Now, remember what I said, right? In the class, you have to export this, port this to your phone, okay? So you'll be able to do the same thing in real time. You can call your friend, okay, from here only. Fine? All right. Once you export it to the phone, you have to run the application from your phone only. Fine? And then you'll be able to do this. Now, end this, okay? Now, you see here, you can actually send a message, okay, to the person. But for now, let me try to save this number, right? Okay, let's try deleting, okay? So as you delete, it deletes everything. And once it reaches back now, the default value, like you can actually allow 0 to be here as the default value. But what I want to be as the default value is enter a number to call, right? So once you do that, it goes back to the default value. Fine? Now I'm going to repeat the same thing now. In this case, I'm going to save it. Okay, please let me know if I am fast, okay? The essence is I don't want to waste my time here, okay? At the end of the day, you guys will tell, sir, we did not understand. Fine? So in this case, I'm going to save. If I'm fast, please let me know. So far, we have not done anything, right? Now, so at times it might want to save it in my Gmail. But now it's going to say, I'm going to save it to the account, okay? So account, now, see here, this is going online. To my Gmail. I will not do that. What I will do, I will go back. I'll try to save again. Now, okay, I cancel that. Now it will save in the phone. Okay, I will also repeat another example where I have to sign into my Gmail, right? Remember, for that, your internet must be connected. Fine? My internet is on only, obviously, but now I will just say I just say Wakanda. Okay. Wakanda Killmonger. Okay, that fellow. Fine. Okay. Now I can actually add some stuff here. Add email, whatever I call it. At kill dot co.in, anything. He's now an Indian. Okay. Now I'll click on save, and this contact is saved. So if I want to call this number now, I can actually call it directly from here, right? Okay. So another thing you can do, right? You're going to add, let's say I want to update this now, or I want to add another number. Okay. Now, if I add another number, let's say some number, I just add some 32 or something like that. I'm going to say save. Now, you see, because I actually did this now, it's no longer getting back online. Okay. But initially I want you to also save it in your Gmail, fine, and as well as save it also in your phone. Okay, 2 options. So this is done. So let's just start building the stuff together. So I'm going to close this now, and we'll go back to our what? Relative layout, right? Okay. So what we're going to do, go to the file, say new project, and remind me, guys, we'll work on relative layouts here, and then in the class we try to work on constraint layout. Fine. Okay. So I'll call it lab 8. Lab 8, I believe it's not there. And I decided to use Marshmallow, no problem. I click on finish. All right. So this is done, and we allow this Gradle script to build, and it's fine. Okay. So first thing now, we're going to go back to the design view, right? Okay. So let's get back to the design view and start working on the same thing together. Okay. So in the design view, I will go grab something. What is it that I want to grab now? I'll grab a text. What? I'll grab a text view. But remember now, again, before you start asking why am I not able to get the stuff, click on that here, this view thing. It looks like an eye, right? And you clearly see this option, show system UI. Okay. So I went on rendering, show system UI. I don't want live rendering. So this is there. Fine. Now what I need to do next, I need to remove this guy. Fine. I'll go back to my split mode, and then I drag this all the way up. I can actually increase this a little bit. Fine. So I felt like maybe I should actually skip the design part, but again, you need to know how we design this, right? So we delete this now, and we need a text view that will say it is what? The name only, call and save application. I'm referring to this. Fine. So we need this test view. Now we go there, and then we go to drop that fellow and drop it. Now first thing I want to do is get back here. I hope you can see it clearly. Extend this a little bit. From here, I'm going to change it to what? Relative layout. Okay. So relative layout, fine, and ensure it closes by itself. Okay. Now this I have. Now I can actually resize this a little bit. Fine. And there you go. I need to change this now to what? Call and save application. I'll say call and save application. Fine. So this is done. Let's centralize it. Now I'm going to say what? Text alignment. And there I'll say it is center. Fine. Now increase the font. Text size. What is that? Is there text size? Call it I think 24. Okay, maybe 28 I think will fit. Fine. Okay, so I'm going to use my normal SP, and then I'll go to text style. I make it bold as well. Fine. So you might want to work on the color, right? So, and you already know how to choose the color, right? So maybe I want to choose teal, whatever. So let's see how the color is going to look like. Something like that. Fine. So we are done with this. So what do we need next? If you see this clearly, we need what? An edit text, right? By the side, you need a delete key. Fine. So let's go grab that as well. Yeah. If you have any queries, no queries so far, but just in case, okay? So I just check the screen once again. All right. And please, in case if it drops, just message me on WhatsApp, okay, guys? Okay, let's continue. So what are we saying actually? We need now what? A text view, right? So for that, we get back there. And then we go here and say, okay, fine, I'm going to grab a text view. So here I need what? An edit text. Now this is a plain text. Keep it here. Okay. And then I just need to change this from text to what? Say hint. And I want this to read enter a number to call. Okay. I will just say enter number to call. Sorry. Enter number. I better use this to call or survey. Fine. Now I want to just increase the size. I'll go there because if you saw the previous one, right, it was really small. So maybe again I'm going to use 30 because it doesn't really matter. Now it's going to take so much space there, so I'll use maybe 25. Fine. Okay, so I will have the space to put my, you know why I'm doing this? I need to have a space to put my delete key, right? Okay. Now in this case, I don't need this long ID because remember we need to refer to this text view. Okay, we need this text view, so I prefer to call it text view only. Fine. I call it edit text actually, so maybe I call it a txt number. Okay, just give it something that will be meaningful. I hope you got what I mean. So instead of saying edit text spacing, so I'll just call it edt number. That's what I want to call it. Edit text for number. Fine. Okay, so this is done. Next, that is done. So we have to take now what? A button. So go to buttons, drag a button, drop a button there by the side. Fine. Now this button is there. Fine. And the button I want it to read Dell. Okay, I think that should be fine. Or in case I might remember the default size, maybe I might want to just say, let's see the text size. Maybe if since it's going to be only Dell, let's say call it 16. Is it fitting? Yes. Maybe go to 18. Okay, fine. So this is fine. All right. So for now, let's just ensure that we are the constraint is actually fixed properly, right? You can run this. No worries, right? You can actually run this just to see how it is. Then we go to the next one, which we're going to do what now? Just place buttons. So the next option is just place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. So I place 1, 2, 3 first, then I copy paste, and finally I place call and save, and that's it. Fine. Okay. So yes, so if you watch, this is fine. So no need to constrain anything here and there. And guys, I believe those guys are here. Pratab, I'm going to call his name now. He's not here. Pratab, are you here? No. Pratab and his fellow here, they will not be here only. Good. If I say, okay, submit attendance, somebody will tell them. Pratab, no way, he's not here. Okay, good. Fine. So tomorrow, you should not ask, okay, how did this happen and all. We have already changed. Remember, guys, this we encountered it in the class yesterday, right? After you are done designing, if you go and change the layout, everything will jumble up. Now you can actually see it, right? No issue so far. So I can stop this, no problem. Fine. And then I minimize this and then continue with my design. Fine. Okay. Since you can see this clearly, I will go and grab a button now. Fine. So maybe I thought what I will do is the button is already here, right? So I can repeat the same thing, right? So I repeat the same thing, copy paste, or fine, I will do once, then I start copy pasting. Okay. So this is one button, right? And if you watch, the behavior is almost same with whatever we've seen here. So this button, I want it to hold this number 1. Watch here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's do till that without going back again here. So I want to call this btn1, btn1. Fine. Now, and this, what will be the text? The text should be 1 only. Now, if you watch, I want to actually apply the text size, maybe like 20 or something. Okay. I'll say text size. Maybe I'll try to use 20 now. SP. Fine. No problem. So that is fine. Did it increase actually? I think so. Let's maybe 22. Yeah, it increased. You can actually see the effects, right? Fine. So this is done. Now what I will do is I just try to position it. And if you notice one thing here, guys, relative layouts, see, it's actually constraining it. Hope you can see the effect. It's actually constraining the whole thing without us going about constraining it ourselves. Okay. So till here is fine. Now what I will do is I'll copy paste now. Fine. So I can actually copy this guy. Control C. Now I'll come down here. I paste it. Now I hope you are seeing what I'm doing because I have seen many of you also. what you do is you just go and start deleting something in between, even in deleting Android. Now it will be here. I just need to drag it, control drag to that side. Okay, now you see it's there. Fine. Now the same thing I will do, let me just paste to the third one, control V. Again, it's going to be somewhere here. If you watch here, this is the third one. It has appeared as button 1. So that is a duplicate of button 1. Go and drag it from there. Okay. So now try to position these guys properly. Okay. So I needed this thing. I'm going to position. And you can actually see the grid, right? It's actually guiding us. You can see that line. I positioned that. And then I try to position this. Okay. Maybe I keep it this way. I want it to be closer to the edge, so that it will become equally spaced. Something like this is what I wanted to mimic. Okay, maybe something like that. So I take a little time just to position it, and that's it. Now I try to see how it looks like here. Okay, but I want it to cover the screen. No worries. Fine. So this is fine. Maybe I'll push this little bit. It's okay. I want it there only. Maybe this one I bring a little inside here to touch there. Fine. Okay. So now what I will do next is I now need to change the text and the ID. Don't forget, guys. Okay, so go back here. Remember, this is editing number. This is button. Now this I don't want to call it. This is button what? Delete. So I can call it BTN delete. Better. BTN del. Okay. Now this is BTN 1. So the next will be what? BTN 2. And I'm going to add append 2 there. Okay. Then the next is what? BTN 3. And I will do what now? 3 there. Fine. Now what I can do is I'm going to copy. Okay. It's taking little time to appear. Okay, sorry. Okay, now did you notice something here, guys? So 3 is there, then 2 and 1. Did you see it? Actually, what happened was when I dragged this guy, actually dragged the other one. So instead of see, this 3 has become 1. Got it? So what we can do now is try to reposition them. So what I will do is I'm going to delete this guy. Fine. And then drag from 2. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Control Z. Now, did you notice what happened, guys? See, this one actually has become my button 3, but I wanted it to be my button 1, right? So I can rearrange them here. So this is 3, 2. 2 is in perfect position, right? So this is 1. So what I will do, I will fix this in the next example. So I'll take that guy and just put it here. Otherwise, you just drag and drop, okay? Instead of doing this and wasting time. Fine. So if I do this, that actually should change to 3. And then this becomes 3. Fine. And then the first one, which was actually 1, that is this one, right? I'm going to delete it. So this is 3, and this also 3. So this is actually 1. So if we just check it here, if you do this and then change this back to 1, it's going to appear as 1. Got it now? So 1, 3, and then 2. I have to remove this guy. Fine. And next, instead of you to make the same mistake, what you should do is just drag the button and drop it. Fine. So button 1 is there. Button 2 is here. You can leave it this way also, but it's better you understand. I mean, you follow along so that you know what exactly is happening where, right? So if you want to refer to the position of button 2, you should know where it is. So if you think now that this is taking time, actually, what you can do is just copy the three of them. Fine. Just copy these 3. How? Select and select this guy. Just 1 minute. Click out. Select these 3. Okay. So this is a problem with relative layout. So if it is a linear layout, okay, or constraint layout, you can actually select. So you see, if I go in there, I'm not getting that select option. You see that? So I actually need this to turn to something, you know, where I can actually select. So that didn't work. So I am left with no option than just to drag and drop the buttons. Fine. So I'm done till here. And then what I will do is I'll just quickly drag, place buttons, okay, and then place some more. So I think this should be faster, right? So now I'm not going to waste time. I will just go back there, place, okay, then place, and then place. Now what is left now? We need the last one, which is what? Oh, sorry, *0 and hash, then call and save. *0 and hash, I'll drag again, place, drag another one, place, drag another one, that, okay? Then I need 2 buttons now. Drag, keep here, drag, keep there. Okay, so now this is another issue which you're likely to face. So once you do all this now, guys, so remember now you need to know which button is holding which ID. The easiest way to find it, just double click on the button. So you see, if I double click on this, it goes to the next one. See here? So it goes to this one. So this is now referring to button 3. See, there's a duplicate button 3 here. See, button 1, button 2, button 3, and another one, button 3. So this is actually the button 3, right? So I'm going to change it to BTN 4. Fine. So I'll say BTN 4. Done. Now I want this to display what? 4. So what I will do now, instead of to keep you for so long, I'm going to just, I won't work on the UI, okay, like adding all those fonts and all, okay, but you got the point. Now this becomes BTN 5, BTN 5, and then this becomes what? 5 only. Now similarly, this is BTN 6, 7, whatever, BTN 6, okay, and as you see there, it just appears. Then go back and change this to 6. Fine. Then this is BTN 7, BTN 7, and this one is 7 only. Okay, is any of you doing this alongside? If you are doing it alongside, just type I, or you are just listening. BTN 8, because I expected some of you to join using your mobile phone so that you'll be able to do this alongside. Is anybody doing it alongside? Just let me know. BTN 9, and this reads 9. Okay. Everybody is waiting for attendance. Fine. So next is what? BTN 0, star, and what? See, I just kept it like that. I didn't even bother. Okay. BTN 0 is at the middle. Star is there, and then hash is there, right? Fine. So this becomes BTN 10, and this one is 0. So instead of BTN 10, I'll call it BTN 0. Okay. Okay. Now, actually, what is there is star. Initially, star is there, right? And then 0 is at the center. So call it BTN star. You remember we need to map all these things. So that's why we have to do it accordingly, right? So star. And then, oh, okay, I missed that guy. So this is actually BTN star. So this is BTN star. Fine. And then, yeah, it will obviously tell us it's duplicate. No problem. So we're going to change it now. And next is BTN 0. Okay. So then here I'm going to change it to what? 0. Next is what? BTN hash, right? BTN hash. And I'll put hash there. That's it. Okay. So what do we have next? BTN save, call, and save. So the last one is the last two buttons. BTN call, and this says call. Even if you type it in lowercase, it's going to appear in uppercase. Fine. So we say BTN save, BTN save, and this is save. Okay. So till here, what we will need to know, right? We will just view this, and then we go and add what? On-click events. Fine, and that's it. The Java code again is very simple actually. What we just do, implement the on-click event and copy paste, and we are done. That's it. Okay. So no problem. So if I click, nothing happens here, right? Fine. Don't worry, the UI is not looking nice, right? You got the point. So you are supposed to do this later. Okay. So I'll stop this now, and then we get back here now. So what will happen is whenever we click, say delete, let's call a method, add all methods here. So two approaches we can use here. Okay. So remind me, guys, we are going to do on-click events online, and in the class we use event listener. Diksha, are you listening? You have to remind me. Okay. Okay. You're in a different stream. So guys, make sure you are meeting us. We are meeting tomorrow. For those of you in that section tomorrow, remind me. Also subsequently on Tuesday, remind me. We are going to work with what? This one we are going to use what? On-click event, and then there we are going to use event listener, on-click listener. Okay, fine. Okay, so we are done with the UI. So what are we supposed to do next? We now go and start mapping them, right? But before we map them, let's now do what now? Add on-click events. Okay, so from the first one, okay, from the first one, what is that one? That's the delete button, right? So the delete button, we should call delete. Then the other one, like that hash, like that star, and all whatnot. Then we go and declare what those events are. Fine. So we go back. Okay, you can. The best way is just click on this, and then it points us to delete. Fine. So this delete, you can now say it doesn't matter. I'm going to add it here. So I'll just say on click. Fine. Now on click, I'm going to call del. Fine. Taken. So I will call del, right? Next. And what I will do in this case, you see here, it will tell you to, now watch here, it's still in yellow, okay? After some time, it says press Alt Enter, right? Click create this event. Or you see, if you come back again, it will turn to that red thing. Now it's there, okay? So this will appear. Create this in main activity. So I'll just be doing it alongside. I'll go back here, fine. Then next one is what? When I press on one, I'll call on click, then one. Fine, on click, what I'll call ONA. Next, so just press Alt Enter. Now I'm going to use Alt Enter this time around. Now I'll create that in that. So in main activity. So you see, you saw the change, right? Now watch here, Alt Enter. Okay, see, I press Alt Enter. Now it will appear like this. Create on click event handler. Now once you click on this, see how it's going to appear in main activity. This is not what I want you to do, guys. To avoid confusion, just wait and watch this happen. Just create on click in main activity. Did you see it to jump inside here? This is what I want you to do, guys. Fine. To make sure we are actually on the same page. Do you have any questions so far? Are you able to follow? I need a confirmation. Just type Y if you're able to follow. Am I fast? Are you still listening? Or you are just signed in and just there? Okay, if I pick a name randomly, they will not listen. They will not say anything. Nitin, are you still there? Fine. Ronish, are you still there? Do what you want, sir. We will not even pay attention. Okay, let's continue. Yes, yes. Okay, fine. So you're able to follow, right? Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation, Prajwa. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Okay? Thank you so much. So, so I hope you saw what I just showed you, right? Because this is the same mistake many of you are going to make also in the lab. So the reason why we are taking pains to do this online before we get to the lab is to ensure that there are so many of you who can actually help out, right? So I don't want to be running around everywhere. I know most of you that are good, you just help others, okay? Thank you so much, guys. Let's continue. Fine? Yes, thank you. So we'll be done in no time, okay? So now what we are doing is we'll be adding all these things alongside, okay? So I have done for that. I have done for one. Now for two, the same thing I'm going to do. So to avoid me deleting this by chance, that's why I'm actually doing the on click here, okay? It doesn't matter where I do it. So for this, I'm going to call two. Fine. Now what I will do, I will leave it. I'll come back to this and then implement them later, okay? So I'll do again on click. Then, sorry. Please ensure you just type it properly. If you make a mistake, please better delete, okay? And just ensure it's appearing like this only. So on click, I need 3. Fine. Now I'll call that method. That's what I'm actually saying, okay? So, okay. Yeah, now text size here has changed. Don't worry, guys. So text size, you see the text size here is little different. So no problem. So on click, oh my goodness, I'm so fast here. So on click, fine. I need to call what? 4. Okay. Next, here on click, call 5. On click, call 5. Then on click, call 6. SIX. Now on click, call 7. SCVEN. Now here on click, call 8. Call EIGHT. Now on click, call 9. On click, call 9. And so on. So this will be star. STR. Then this will be 0. So we are going to use insert method, just say insert that, okay? And now, did you notice here, guys, the one which you have actually implemented in main activity Java is what is appearing here. Can you see it? So other ones will not appear for now until we go and do that, okay? So this is 0. sorry, I wrote 0 there. 0. Fine. And then this is hash. On click, it is hash. Fine. And then this one on click call, and then on click save. So we are done with this guy. Okay, save. So remember now, the only text view we need is this text view, right? What is the name of that text view? A EDTA number. That is the edit text. Fine. So let's go back now. Delete is implemented there. 1 is also done. 2 is not done. Okay. So go there and just say create that. Come back here. Go to 3. Click on the red thing. Create this. Come back there. 4. Same. Come back. 5. Yes. Another thing is, can I actually go and type the method myself? Absolutely yes. But to avoid missing out on the function name, right? So it's better you do this way. And this will ensure uniformity actually. Fine. So 7. And if just imagine if you in a situation where you have to implement lots of the methods, right? So this, I find it like easier. Fine. Because you can still go back there, and what I mean is, like, say in the example now I have 9. So I can actually say public void 9, and then I copy paste. It doesn't matter. So why don't I do it here? I know this is called *0 hash call and save, right? So I'm going to do the same thing here now. *0 call, save and stuff. Okay, I'll copy this now. Now next, Ctrl V. Okay, so give space, Ctrl V. Okay, give space here, Ctrl V. Space, Ctrl V. Space, Ctrl V. So now this is after 9. Now see the problem, right? After 9, again I need to come back here, right? And remember, it is what actually *0 hash, right? So that is what I will show you this also, no problem. So after 9, this is called star. Okay, and then this is 0, and then this is hash, HASH. Okay, so for the last two, I will do the same thing. Fine. Now let's go back here, and you see, if you map it correctly, right, you won't get that warning. Now call is not mapped, so I'll go, sorry, call is not created, the method, that's what I'm saying. Okay, we have not started mapping, so this is fine. And then lastly is what? Save. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here, save, and that is it. Okay, so now we are almost done. So what are we supposed to do? Now we go now and start mapping them, right? So what I needed is, I need to refer to this edit text. Okay, so create an object of edit text and then use find view by ID. Remember, this is called EDT num. This text is called EDT number, right? So this one, fine. So I'll go back to my main activity.java, say EDT edit text. So maybe I'll call it number now. Okay, now this number, I will now need it to just come inside my what? Go inside my onCreate method. Now why I'm actually giving space is to know that this was what was actually added. Okay, so now I need to, whatever I'm going to get from the ID, right? When I say find view by ID, which ID? r.id.edt number, right? r.id, I save it in what number? Okay, id.edt number. Fine, I've saved it there. So that's it for now. Okay, now go to the first one. So what happens when I delete? So remember, when I delete, if you saw the behavior in the previous case, right, it should actually delete the entire thing and return it back to the default, right? So whatever is in the screen which says enter a number to call or save. Fine. So in this case, you can actually add 0, but if you allow 0 to be there, then it looks so funny because it's not a simple calculator app where 0 has to be the default number. Okay, so for that we need to clear everything, okay, and set it back to how it is. So now I'm going to create a string variable. Fine. Now I will say, okay, string, call it num delete or something like that. Okay, I'll say num del. Okay, now I need this number, right? So now this number dot get text convert to string, obviously get text, see there, and to string. Okay, so this is done. Now what we have to do now is we now use this string variable which is called num delete, right? To do what now? to actually get whatever is in the text, delete everything there. That means you're going to use that the length -1, okay, and then set it back to the screen. So that means whatever we have initially should be what is there, right? Clear entire thing, set it, whatever it was there in the screen, set it back to the default value. So this is it, and then I refer to this number, fine, dot substring should be there, okay? Now, so this is beginning of index, obviously 0. Now, I don't know how long, I mean, the length of that. So for that, I'm going to use, number in this case. So I need actually numdel, yes, okay, dot length, okay, now -1, okay, now semicolon, and finally use the same thing num and set the whatever is there back to the screen. So number dot set text, then that we take what, numdel, fine, okay. So you can actually try this out now and see if it's deleting. It should delete, okay. So now let's move to the next one. So the next is what happens when I call 1? Use append method, right? Like it is, think of it as a stack, right? So you go append the value. So you can actually pop out. Just think of it as a appending only. Yeah, that's it. Pushing. Just think of it as a push operation here, right? So in this case now, I'm just going to say number, add that number. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, so here, get back and add the number dot what, append. Fine. What should I append now? Now remember, I'm taking the number as a string, right? Because whatever is actually there is a string only. So the same thing we have to do for others. So why don't we copy paste? Okay, Control C. Now go for to 2 only. Control V, 3, Control V. Oh, sorry. Please, guys, be very careful that you're not just watch what I nearly did like this. Okay, then you're gonna get an error. Fine. So get back there. I want it inside the method. Fine. Then here inside this method, here, there, for all of them. Okay, you have to do the same thing. Not the same thing, I mean, we're going to change the values, okay? Append their respective values. Fine. So this is done. And we're almost done, guys. We're almost done. So here till there. Now, there will be a difference in your call and save. Okay? So I'll do till here. Then I will go now and just, I have done till hash and all. Okay? So let's change the values immediately to avoid adding 1 all the time. So 1 is done. So this is 2, and that is 3, and this is 4, 5, and 6. There is 7. This other one is 8. The other is 9. Okay, and this we have star, as in star. Star, and that is 0, and this is hash, and the other is call and save. Okay, so in the call, what should happen is we are going to use intent now. Okay, and use this method which we call URI.parseString. Okay, sorry, intent only, and then the intent we take like 2 parameters actually. Okay, so the action to dial, okay, because we want to call, right? In this call, I'm talking about the call only. And then we have to start the activity. Remember, we did that in the intent, right? So for that, I think I will say string. I used that number, right? So I'll use the number again, number variable. I'll say okay. So okay, let me change this now, because what I want to do is I want to refer to that. I want to say something here, string. Okay, let's just call it my num, anything. Okay, so I need this number, right? Fine. That means, how do I use get text? I have to use then convert to string. Fine. Now I will use intent, right? So you say intent, INTENT. Now, not these contracts. You see, actually we'll be needing these contracts, okay, when we go to save, like contracts, contacts, like that, the contacts. So it's little funny. It's like a tongue twister. So for now, I don't need this. What I need is intent only. Okay. So I'll say intent. Fine. Now, and this is intent, not the intents. Fine. Create an object of that. I call it IT. Now, say new intent. New intent. Fine. So I need this action dial. So for that to happen, I will use intent dot. So you see, okay, so also many options, like when we get to the part B, like the database, whatever, that's pharmacy store database, we'll be using insert. So okay, this will perform an action that will insert something into the database and stuff like that, and send to and or whatnot. So but what we need now is action to dial, like to call, right? So we say action is actually capital letter, action underscore, it should appear by now, D. Yes, so this I was referring to. Fine. Okay. Now, I'll use this URI. It's actually capital URI dot pass. Fine. So what am I going to pass? Usually you say a string, right? URI string. So you can call it your telephone number, anything. Tele number. Okay. So now, this tele number is actually stored in this variable called what? My num. So I'm going to concatenate it to this one, my num. Fine. Okay. So this will not, nothing will happen until we start the intent, right? So how do you start it? You say start activity. That is the intent. So what is the intent object? The IT. Fine. And make sure semicolon is there. Okay. So far there is no error, right? So we actually done with this. And then the last one is the what now? The save. Okay. So the save now, what happens when you click on save? Get this, take a string variable. Fine. Same I'm going to use for simplicity's sake. Fine. And then I need this number. Okay. Get whatever is there before we save, right? So I need dot get text dot the string. Fine. Then next, intent only, but in this case now I need to use insert. Fine. So think of it, whatever happened, like think of that your system, your phone as a database or a data store for now. So same thing, so that we have to use intent only. So I'm going to use the same thing which I did before, new intent. Now I'll have to use this intent dot action. Okay. Dot act. So this action is actually capital C. You see that? So now action insert is what I need. Fine. Now this is where that contact will come. Okay, because I need to take the contact, right? And then use put extra method to save that inside my phone. Okay, so for that I'll be doing contact, that's first one. Okay, contract dot contact, the second one. Now dot is called content URI underscore URI. Okay, semicolon. And lastly, I'll use the intent object dot put extra method now called that. Now what is it that is going to put now? Now in this case now, same thing, you start to use contract dot intents. Okay, dot insert, then dot phone. Okay, what are you going to insert? That number. Fine. Semicolon. Obviously you have to start the activity, right? So start activity with the intent. Okay, so if you check so far, and we are actually done, guys. So yeah, any doubts so far? Sir, can we change the color of the... Absolutely, Gayatri. Absolutely. See, I didn't want to change the color now because I don't want to keep you guys beyond 1 hour. Okay, so please, whatever doubts you have, bring it to the class tomorrow. Okay, we will also do that in the lab. We change the color, we change everything. You can do it. Okay, so by default, it's taking the default color. Okay, so you can do that. Now, guys, okay, so I hope you guys are actually paying attention, right? So far, nothing, I mean, everything seems to work. Let's go and see. Fine. So we just fire this up. And now, let's just put some number and try delete. It worked. Fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 789 star hash, then okay, let's delete. Now if you watch Prajwal, you notice that this actually is not filtered. For instance, I want you guys to work on this stuff so that the number should not go beyond 10, right? 8147, yes. 8147070833, yeah. So it should only accept 10 digits, and when you enter this, it should not actually, it should return some error while calling this number. So see, it will actually call the number. 1 minute, okay. So okay, I actually see now it threw an error. You see, it didn't call that, it threw an error. Let me run this again, and it just closed. So we didn't handle exception yet. So let's say, let me just check this. And you also should check what a valid number is. Okay, somebody should turn this into a mini project. See, check, create a method called isValid that will check whether the number starts with, yes, thank you. Well, it has to start with like, it should be 10 digits, okay? And then it should not contain any of this funny stuff, okay? Because, and you have to handle the exception. So let's try this. 833. Now if I call, now, oh, sorry, apps keep stopping. 1 minute. Okay, oh, the previous one is there. Sorry, guys, 2 of them are actually running. Close this. 1 minute. Go to the previous one. I have 2 of them here. I think this is LI8. Close this. And then I have another one also, which is L8. This is actually not running, so this is fine. And let's get back here. Okay, fine. So did I miss out something? Let's check quickly. My num, fine. Okay, number.getString, fine, no problem. Okay, so this works. Let me just put some stuff here and save. Yeah, okay, so saving is actually working. Okay guys, saving works, so I can just say hello and we are done. Okay, so hello Prajwal, something like that. I will just type, and then when I click on save, it actually saved that. Oh, sorry, Prajwal. Okay, so if I call, yeah, it's actually calling. Okay, so this works fine. All right, so guys, thank you so much. Now I want you to give your attendance. Please listen. If you just joined, please listen. Don't start writing random stuff now, because I saw many of you just joined lastly. Keep deceiving yourselves, guys. Okay, fine. For those of you that were here from the beginning to the end, thank you so much for joining. And for those that felt like, fine, you can do what you want, okay, no problem. And sorry, Prajwal, did you notice something here? When I actually, watch here, please, guys, watch here. This is something I want most of you to extend. Watch here. When I say delete, 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 over, right? So it should not go beyond this. Again, if I say delete, see, the app will crash. Got it now? So you see, this is actually nothing. We just did some basic stuff and that's it. Okay? So for now, how I want you to give your attendance is, I'm typing it again. Anybody that refuses to do this, you are on your own. See, 2 people just joined now. Okay, fine. Keep playing. No problem. So you just say your row number. Everything should be caps lock. Row num. Okay? Section wise and row number. That's all I need to get. Section wise and row number. Start now. Section wise and row number. That's it. See, they keep joining now. Smart people. Section wise, row number. Start. Caps lock. Fine.